Bitcoin and Solana are absolutely flying right now. Is there too much leverage in the market? What are the next price targets? What's the news? Let's talk about it. All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel for another update on Bitcoin and Solana. It's currently Thursday, the 7th of March. We've got a lot of news to cover today for both Bitcoin and Solana. And of course, let's talk about the price targets. So let's start off with the news for Solana. CoinMarketCap's Crypto of the Year has been awarded to Solana. And the meme coin of the year has been Bonk, which is of course a Solana meme coin. It's hard to say whether this news is the reason why Solana is flying on the daily, but we have increased about $20 up to $150. So Solana is absolutely flying right now. The first snapshot for the Backpack exchange will be happening on March the 18th. I'm personally farming both Jupe and Backpack to make sure that I'm kind of getting as many points as possible across both of these exchanges. There's a lot of people wash trading on Backpack right now to try and farm points. That basically means, you know, you buy one Solana, you sell one Solana, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You incur a small amount of fees, but you do rack up your points. In other news, Solana's daily DEX volume skyrockets to over 2.4 billion, driven by a significant surge of funds into Solana's meme coins. Because of these surges recently, WIF surpasses Bonk, When hits a new all-time high, Mad Lad's floor price has hit a new all-time high, and Jupe finally hits a new all-time high. I believe this is because of the governance locks that are happening right now on Jupe, where you can lock your Jupe and you can go and vote. Solana's also now doing 20 million in NFT sales over the past 24 hours. This is the highest daily volume in the past 3 months. So a lot of very nice developments happening right now on Solana. A lot of developments which have been taking place for the past year. 1 year ago, Solana was trading at $20. Now it's at $150. Remember 1 year ago, we were looking at things like, you know, the daily value moved on chain. It was quite lackluster. There wasn't much growth happening about a year ago. You can see on this metric over here on the block, Solana value moved on chain monthly. We kind of really flatlined and died in the bear market where no meme coins, no NFTs, no new projects were really building too much, no new volume was coming in. And in this past month, we've had an absolutely disgusting amount of volume come in. In terms of the value moved on chain, in February, it's been 103.65 trillion. At the previous bull run top, this was 59 trillion. So we've almost doubled the amount of value moved on chain. In other news for Solana, there is a NFT project which I did share over on my Discord. This new project is called The Invincibles. It's kind of like an anime themed NFT collection. There's 5,555 of these. And you can just check out the art here. I think the art looks pretty cool. I'm a big anime fan, so I personally managed to go and grab a bunch of these. This was a really hyped collection. They've got over 10.7 thousand followers over on Twitter. So unfortunately, I wasn't actually able to come and mint this for, I believe it was around about 0.275. A bunch of people minted, and of course, Solana degens just jeeted them for the floor for some reason. So I was able to go and sweep the floor. I've got about 30 of these. I think the art's really cool, and the floor price of some of these right now is around about 0.3 Sol. So just putting it on your radar, not affiliated with them anyway. So lots of nice developments on Solana, lots of new value on chain moving in. Let's now move on to the Bitcoin news. So for the Bitcoin ETF flows, I believe it's been a few days since we updated the flows chart. So let's just dive into what's happened this week, starting off on the 4th of March. That was Monday. On Monday, we had about 560 million worth of cumulative flows. Tuesday, 650 million. Wednesday, 330 million. So once again, on average, it's TikTok supply shock like we've been talking about on the channel. These ETFs just keep on swallowing up all of the available Bitcoin. Now, do you remember that slight dip that we saw on Tuesday after Bitcoin made new all-time highs? You can't even see it on the weekly time frame. Well, while retail sold, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF added a record 12.6 thousand Bitcoin in the dip that happened on Tuesday, propping up the price, and that dip did really not last too long. We've also got mainstream media once again talking about Bitcoin. I do also want to be neutral and cover both sides of the market. One thing that is a little bit worrying right now is the leverage that's currently in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price only needs to dip 5% to liquidate 2 billion worth of Bitcoin longs. This normally never ends too well. If we look at the Binance BTC USDT liquidation map, you can see this liquidation cascade would start to happen around about 66 to 67,000. You can also view this in the Bitcoin funding rates. They are absolutely disgustingly high right now, sitting around about 5.38%. Now, typically when funding fees spike this high, you tend to see a slight correction in the price. Normally this happens where it starts with a $1,000 drop and then you have a quick liquidation cascade. Now, I'm not saying this to suggest that I'm bearish on spot BTC. I'm very much heavily in spot crypto assets at this moment in time. What I'm really emphasizing right now is, of course, on this channel, we detailed, hey, we're longing Solana at this price, we're longing Bitcoin at this price. In my most recent videos, I've told you because of a few different reasons, also involving the funding fees and the fact that we're now at all-time highs, I am personally risk off on all of my trades. So all of the long positions I've entered, I've now exited on, and I'm sitting in these assets in spot. So while I'm very, very bullish on the spot price, for me to get interested in a new long, I would definitely need to see the Bitcoin funding rates come to the downside. And that would normally mean a quick flash crash. And I don't think that would last too long, judging by the fact that every single time we have a slight dip, these ETFs just come up and eat all of the dips right away. So just wanted to put that on your radar. So there we go, that's the news. Let's now dive into the TA. Just a quick 20-second segment on the stock market before we talk about Bitcoin. The S&P 500 is also blasting into new all-time highs. We recently detailed the corporate insiders chart, and we were letting you know that corporate insiders are currently bullish on their stock positions and they are buying their stocks rather than selling. The DXY as well is coming to the downside, down about 0.5% today or 50 basis points. You can see that it has just slipped and lost a very important level of support, which has now flipped as resistance. In the monthly time frame, the next level of support that you should keep your eyes on for the DXY is going to be around about 100.5. which is going to be about a 2% drop for the DXY. While this means nothing to crypto heads, 2% drop on the DXY should mean a large surge in the S&P 500, which will also support the price of Bitcoin moving further up. So there we go, just a quick macro overview on the equity segment so we can tie this into the Bitcoin analysis. Now, while I did just say, hey, be a little bit careful in the short term, there's a lot of leverage in this market and we are going up in a straight line. That doesn't mean that I'm bearish on spot BTC. It just means I would personally like to see a little bit of a dip before I enter that next long position. Now, in terms of what's happening on Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin has hit a new all-time high in the past few days. And what are the next macro levels that we should keep our eyes on? Well, the 1.236 Fibonacci, 82,600. Bear in mind, once we finally manage to get above this previous all-time high and hold it as support, we will be in price discovery. So $20,000, $40,000 moves can happen probably a lot quicker than you think. If I show you the next Bitcoin chart, as you can see, when we tend to flip above the previous all-time high and finally solidify that move back above it, that is really when the bulk of the gains are made in the bull run. And these can happen within 2 to 3 months, just going up in a straight line with minimal corrections. I have also noticed when Bitcoin comes to its all-time high, I'm not going to go through all of these different market cycles, but you can go check that yourself if you want. I do just want to kind of show you when Bitcoin does hit a new all-time high, it normally takes about 2 or 3 weeks worth of corrections or sideways movement, depending on how you're looking at it, before we get ready for that blast to the upside. So I would personally want to tie this into the funding rates and the leverage that's in the market. I would really like to see Bitcoin consolidate. I would love to see something like a 5-10% crash that would wipe out some of the longs in the market. And at that point, I'd feel a lot more comfortable in myself if Bitcoin pushes above that previous all-time high to enter a new long position. On the weekly time frame as well, you can see the stochastic RSI is nearing the top, so this might come into correlation with this, so just be a little bit cautious in the short term. This doesn't mean, hey, we're near the top, sell, and then you get left behind if Bitcoin just continues pushing up, because we've never been in this market scenario before where ETFs just keep on buying 500 million, 500 million, 1 billion every single day. So keep that in mind. I'm not really going to be swing trading my Bitcoin or Solana this bull run. Sure, I'm swing trading meme coins, I'm swing trading altcoins, but the bulk of my bags are sitting in spot Bitcoin and spot Solana. I wouldn't be selling at this level and then saying, hey, you know, the markets, the funding rates are a little bit overextended. I'm going to sell now and then buy back 20% cheaper and then get left in the dust if we keep on moving up. So I'm just trying to show you both sides of the market. For me, I'm very bullish on spot over the next few weeks. In terms of longs, I'm kind of sitting on the sideline waiting for the funding fees to come down. Remember in my last video for Bitcoin, I'm personally looking at a new bull run top coming around about $159,000. That's all for now. Once again, just be a little bit cautious in the short term. Normally Bitcoin has some slight consolidation range when we do break into new all-time highs. A lot of the time you can't actually see it on the monthly time frame, but this is just a few weeks where we tend to travel sideways. That's personally my call for right now, 1 week or 2 of consolidation before we just start blasting faces again and start melting to the upside. If you missed my last Bitcoin and Solana video, feel free to go check it out. It basically outlines in much greater detail why I think Solana can hit round about $1,300 in the most bullish case. This is following Ethereum's previous cycles. My price targets are anywhere between around about $860, the psychological level of $1,000, and also $1,300, which would be copying what Ethereum did in its previous bull run. $1,300 might seem very, very bullish to you for Solana, but go check out that video if you think that's too much, and you'll see that there's a lot of reasons why $1,300 may not actually be super crazy. I won't explain myself anymore. If you missed that last video, go check it out. But in terms of the lower time frames for Solana, look at this wave count. This is what we've been detailing on the channel. Once again, our price predictions seemed a bit bullish in the short term while we were making them, but as you can see, we're now up at $150. And this is where I've been detailing that I think the end of the final, wave 5 count is going to be happening for Solana. Now, this doesn't mean we're just going to crash and burn. This means we are approaching my price targets to kind of take profit on this wave 5. Expect something like a B, C correction before that next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we just start blasting to the upside. And that's when I think we're going to come for new all-time highs. So this may come in correlation with Bitcoin kind of lollygagging around the previous all-time high for the next week or so before we start blasting to the upside. We may see that ABC correction happen for Solana very, very soon. And in which case, once Bitcoin starts blasting to the upside, that's when I think Solana is coming to new all-time highs. So what price target am I personally thinking Solana is going to top out in this final wave 5 before that next new wave count? Well, I've personally got my eyes on anywhere between where we are right now, $150, and the macro 618 from high to the low at $168. If we do manage to hit 168, once again, I'm not in any longs right now, but this is kind of where I'd be expecting something like an ABC correction before that next wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is where I think Solana is just going to go absolutely parabolic and start coming into new all-time highs. So really guys, that's all I've got for you in this video. If you want more details on why I think Bitcoin is going to 159,000 and why Solana could even go up to as high as $1,300, feel free to check out my video that I did 2 days ago with details on my price predictions. But for today, that's all I've got. If you enjoyed the video, smash like on the way out. I'll see you soon. Peace.